Wait, I'm not ready. Just kidding. I was ready the whole time.
Sure.
What's up, everybody? It's Nicolai.
And it's Brian. Hello.
This is the Brothers Game Podcast.
It is.
It's episode 65,
Yep.
I think.
No, you're right.
Heck yeah.
You got it.
I knew because 64 is easy to remember.
Yes.
So there you go. Yeah, we didn't notice until after that we should have done like Nintendo 64 special or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Probably would have been a good,
it's
good
too late.
idea, but yeah, it's too late for
I would just like to
anyway.
inform everyone also that I am currently on Shiny Hunt attempt number 19,400. So here we are. The grind never stops, as I like to say.
Yes.
I'm finally back on it. So, yeah. So
we've got one Wi-Fi access point downstairs, and we are upstairs. And I got better speeds changing to data.
Yikes! Yikes! What are you pulling up there?
I am pulling up my
got
notes
secrets?
because I have notes.
Whoa! I don't.
Yes.
I'm off the cuff.
So
They call it improv.
you may not remember, but you as of last episode, you had not yet beaten Tears of the Kingdom. Has that changed?
Oh, really? Gosh. Okay. Yeah, I've done a lot.
Yeah.
I guess we're talking about Tears of the Kingdom a little this episode then.
Yes. Let's wrap that up.
Okay. Well, I'm not. I haven't 100%ed it, so I can't really, fully wrap it. I have beaten Tears of the Kingdom. It's true. I finally went and finished the tears, the dragon tears, which was very emotional and beautiful.
Which is one of the first things I did in the game, so I was surprised.
Well, it's main story, so I took it way too slow, That last memory was so good. And then the dragon flies off and you're surrounded by the silent princesses. Bro, was so good. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, if you need any further confirmation.
Oh, man. Yeah, I was sort of I thought they were gonna bait and switch at some point. Like, it's not actually Zelda like you thought it was, haha.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it was Sonya, or like it was, someone else. No, it's Zelda. They straight up show her eating it and turning into a dragon. So I guess it's Tears of Zelda. You know what I'm saying?
Zelda's Tears.
So that was cool. And it really makes me, I really wanted to say this, that this is the Legend of Zelda game there's been.
Yeah.
I feel like in most of the games, Link is really the forefront, right?
Yeah, it's more like the Legend of Link, and Zelda is there, by the way.
Yeah. This is the Legend of Zelda. Like, Zelda is the main figure of it, I would say.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
So I, of course, haven't played a lot of Zelda outside of these two games. This is definitely the most invested in the story,
That's
I think.
true. Yeah, I think they did the story really well. Definitely, it's one of the better stories of any Zelda game, I would say. Up there with like Twilight Princess and stuff that are a lot more story heavy. So that was really cool. So final boss. You go very, very deep down in the depths. The music gets really cool as you get deeper.
Was my explanation of how deep it was accurate, you think?
It is ridiculously deep.
Just when you think you've hit the bottom,
it's like a little more.
You're less than halfway.
Now dive all the way down, to like the beating heart basically at the bottom. That was really cool. The Ganon's army thing was cool. I think that was an interesting thing to put in there because you fought all these monster forces, throughout the game and for various side quests and stuff. But this one was felt like the final, enemy wave basically. So that totally worked. Love the cutscene of your, all of the sages coming in. Because it's because when you get halfway through, the sages can't reach you basically. You have no avatars. You're screwed basically.
Yeah.
I feel like I can totally see thematically where it's like they went, oh, wait a second, I can't sense Link anymore. We gotta get down there and help him. Something's going on. So I thought that was cool. So I found out, you know how at the end every boss shows up from the different temples, and so if you can skip everything and go straight to Ganon.
Really?
In this game, yes,
I didn't know that.
you can, but you have to do the army thing, fight Ganon's army, and then fight all 5 bosses
All at once?
in a boss rush. No, one at a time.
One at a time. Okay.
But it's every single boss, one after another. Like, how are you not out of weapons by the time you get to Ganon? You know, like, I that would be terrible. That sounds awful. So yeah, it is possible, but you have to beat every boss because you have no sages to help you.
Basically. And without the power of the sages helping you too.
You don't have their powers. Nothing.
Boy, the B one would be really hard without
Riju.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, you'd have to have a lot of, I guess, like fire fruit arrows and stuff.
Yeah.
Because that works too, and bomb arrows can destroy the little mushroom honeycomb tower things. But yeah, it would suck. Riju's definitely easier to deal with it. The boss itself was cool. Was definitely one of the harder bosses in a Zelda game, I would say, which is really nice. I was hoping he wasn't like crazy easy, you know. I actually purposefully didn't really use my bow in it because I feel like you could really easily cheese that a little bit.
Yeah.
And I actually saw this watching Small Ant complete the final boss. He used, a 5-shot Lionel bow and Gibdo bones attached to it and just wiped out Ganon, no problem.
Yeah.
Which I get is really fun for some people. To me, that's just like lame. I don't know. Like, I want a more epic battle.
Yeah.
And so I used the Master Sword with a Lionel horn attached to it.
Yeah.
And then my shields, and stuff.
Yeah. I used just the regular Master Sword. I didn't have anything attached to it.
I mean, it's still really strong even without it, actually. So it's I think it's 45 power.
No.
Without anything attached when you're near glue.
Wait.
When it's glowing.
That's not true. I think at first I had a scale, not a scale, a shard of the light dragon attached.
Oh, okay. Like the horn or just like a scale?
Just a shard.
A scale.
So like
a shard. Got it, yeah.
The ones that are growing all over
the horn shards
spikes,
or whatever they're called. Yeah. Those look really cool.
Yeah.
I love those.
I had one attached to the Master Sword and one attached to the Hylian shield. So,
nice. Oh, cool.
So I got heals from both
a lot
blocks
of healing,
and attacks.
That's awesome. So yeah. First phase obviously isn't very difficult, but I love the just man-to-man like epic kind of duel it is. I love in the second phase when his health bar just keeps growing.
Yeah.
I think that's hilarious. I love when games do that. It's such like
a Dark Souls boss.
Yeah, like a classic JRPG basically, Yeah. I thought that was 30 awesome.
Health
exactly.
bars in Kingdom Hearts.
yeah. Sephiroth style. So that was cool. And I love that the flurry rush thing. So when you do a perfect dodge and you get the flurry rush animation and you go to do it, Ganon does a backflip and like also in slow mo, and you're like, what? He's like, it was a straight up like a Snape, like, you dare use my own spells against me, Potter.
Yeah.
So good. I
love
found
that. Sometimes he'll do that even if you aren't doing a actual flurry rush because like
that did happen once.
I so rarely was able to pull them off.
Yeah.
But I still a few times like I was gonna parry or something and
I got you. And he's like, no, I got you. Yeah. Love that. Also just another way it made it feel really epic is I think somehow like his attacks do extra damage to durability. I think it must be the case because he broke a Hylian shield of mine, which has insane durability, and it was almost fully durable when I went in there.
I lost my Hylian shield in both attempts against him. So,
and so I lost that, and then I lost 2 Sea Breeze shields also, which is the shield from Wind Waker.
Yeah.
And it has almost as much durability as the Hylian shield. Yeah. And so I'm like, I thought that was insane. I'm like,
so
how is
I
this
only
possible?
lost 1 shield against him, but I think I realized at a certain point in the fight that it was doing me more harm than good trying to evade and block as much as I was instead of just being more aggressive.
Just aggressive, yeah.
Because if you kill him fast enough, he can't kill you.
Right,
So.
right. Yeah, I did have a problem of wanting to be cool.
Yeah.
Instead of just killing him. Yeah, definitely.
And like I didn't have the skills to effectively just continue to dodge and block all of his moves all the time. And so at one point I was like, I have the health. I can tank this. And I just, And I mean, plus I had a ton of Sundial food. So
yeah. So speaking of that, obviously he does gloom damage. That's not surprising. But the coolest thing is when you take, I think it's when you've taken gloom hits, basically they're negated now, hearts. If he hits you again, they are permanently removed. What it seems
as
to
I
be.
Understand it, it's only in the second stage, and only certain types of attacks will actually take permanently.
I think
hearts.
Especially the ones where I think he makes gloom waves in the ground basically, and they come at you. Yeah, because I noticed that one take a few hearts away from me. I think that's so cool to take away permanent hearts.
Yeah,
because obviously once you beat it, you revert to save no matter what. So you're gonna have your hearts back. So they can do that, and it's just cool.
But also, when you start the last stage,
you have less health.
Because
really?
mine were all back.
I didn't notice actually.
So
I didn't really take note of that. So yeah, I might do it again sometime. So anyway, all of that was really cool. It really helped to make it feel epic because he's breaking your really good shields and you're losing permanent hearts, and it's like I really like that. And I don't know how I didn't see it coming that he would turn into a dragon. I'm like, because that's really obvious.
Yeah.
Because like he has the secret stone and everything, secret stone, Psycho Mantis. But it was still really cool.
It kind of felt like Jafar turning into a giant snake.
Absolutely, it was so Jafar, Sultan Jafar,
and just like. With Jafar is like, I'll get the ultimate power by doing this, and then it makes you actually weaker and easier to kill.
Right. Yeah, I'm like, I can't wait to destroy this immortal dragon. Like, I love that at first he comes out of the castle, and it's like the dragon thing from the Calamity from Breath of the Wild. I was like, okay, that's cool. How it's basically the same, energy or whatever. And then that fight was cool, not difficult. I mostly used a bow on the little eye sacs.
I found that my bow was just not strong enough, and so it was taking forever.
I had the strongest bow you could possibly get.
So I would just land and just attack them instead, and that was way quicker.
That works great too. Yeah, I used my 5-shot Savage Lionel bow, so I mean it was ridiculously strong. One thing I noted, they did a really good job programming the light dragon in that fight. It followed me and caught me perfectly every time. They didn't feel wonky. I'm like, because like I feel like in like Wii era, they tried to do stuff like that and it was wonky and like not fun and like I don't know, but this just worked. And I thought I noted that because of how impressed I was with that. So yeah, I definitely wanted to mention that.
You don't really need to be afraid in that part of the fight.
No way.
At that point,
it's just like the Calamity Ganon fight in Breath of the Wild, where it's more cinematic than anything. Like, you're not really going to lose this fight, but it's still really cool. But I did prefer this pretty much in every way. I mean, the entire game basically. But yeah, so really good final fight. I liked the little cutscene at the end, which I think you only get if you do all the main quests.
Yeah.
So get all the tears and all the memories and stuff.
Yeah.
But that was cool, seeing like Minoru's spirit released and seeing Zelda just with everybody. It's like, oh yeah, she's just hanging out. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't mention she's fine now.
Yeah.
Something about
Oh, you're stuck as a dragon forever, except not
unless we say you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, Minoru tried to explain it is because the light power and the time power being conduit through Link makes you better? Question mark?
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. We're just happy Zelda's back, I guess. So, so yeah, that was Tears of the Kingdom.
Nice.
Very, very well executed. I'm now going for 100% in it in the new game plus.
You're a lot closer than I am.
I've finished a lot of the
believe.
big things. I've gotten every paraglider, which means I've filled the compendium completely. I've done all the caves and stuff. I did all the wells. I finally did all of Addison's signs, helping Addison hold up the signs for Hudson. Did all that, which that took forever to hunt him down. So I'm pretty sure. So all I have left is to finish upgrading all of the clothes, all the armor. And so I think everything's at least 2-star right now.
Yeah.
And I'm working on that. A lot of materials. And I purposely updated my game so that I can't dupe any of them. Like I have to get them legit, you know? So I'm going to do that. Obviously the Koroks. The Koroks are a big thing. And then I think there's a few map locations I still need to find, just areas I need to go to, so they have names on the map. Because after you beat the game, there's a percentage thing on your map.
Oh, okay. That'd be nice.
You can see what percentage of the map you have completed, basically.
Okay.
So I have basically everything except Koroks, and I'm only at like 78% completion.
Wow.
Because that much is Koroks. It's insane. So we'll see how many Koroks I get. I don't know if I'll get all 1,000, but I might actually go for it. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I just got the Korok mask, which helps, find Koroks. It like shakes when you're near a Korok.
Yeah.
Which will be helpful in that because futzing around with maps and stuff, trying to find Koroks that way is actually worse than just trying to do it legitimately. I don't know. It's just there's too many of them.
Yeah.
So it's just not efficient to like have a little map on your phone or something. And yeah, that's just a whole thing. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I guess I'm at over 200 hours now.
Yeah.
I broke 200. I'm about there right now. And yeah, it's been a journey. I mean, I have to say it's probably the best game I've ever played. Like,
oh wow, yeah.
I kind of have to just put it there. Like, I mean, it doesn't have the kind of nostalgia that something like Paper Mario does, but I mean, it's like I've said before. I think that Breath of the Wild is a masterpiece, and yet this is 10 times better somehow. Like, gosh, it's exactly my kind of game,
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's good stuff. So yeah, that's all I have to say about it.
So I haven't touched it since I beat it.
I'm shocked.
And I don't know if I will, but
Yeah.
I played through Pokemon Emerald.
Yes, I heard about this.
Yeah. So almost
Tell me about that.
every gen up to 5 had that third game. It had
Man, such a missed opportunity with X and Y.
Yeah.
I think I'm so
for
sad
Z.
that never happened.
But yeah, you had Yellow, Crystal, Emerald, and Platinum.
Yes. The better versions of the gens, pretty much in every case.
And so I hadn't played most of those. I had obviously played Yellow plenty, but so I played Crystal not that long ago, and I talked about it on here.
Yeah, Crystal was pretty good.
And so
For an old Pokemon game, it was pretty good.
I've now played Emerald. I feel like I didn't notice that big of a difference between Emerald and Ruby and Sapphire.
Me either, personally.
Obviously, there's Rayquaza, and there's both of the other legendaries.
I like that a lot.
And fighting, and
That you can get both legendaries.
yeah,
I
and
think
fighting
is nice.
both Team Aqua and Team Magma. So, like, I think Emerald is the quintessential Gen 3 experience.
Absolutely. Well, I think Alpha Sapphire is probably the quintessential one, but
Well, that's the Gen 6, Gen 3 experience.
yeah.
That's the Gen 6 Hoenn experience.
yeah. Oh, but it's so good. It's because it's got the Emerald stuff plus another thing after it. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I didn't struggle with anything.
Yeah. I actually found it fairly difficult.
Oh, I didn't, but I will. I only really even lost, I think, one fight in the whole game.
Well, I mean, I guess I didn't really lose much either, but still.
The boss of Team Magma. So I played this differently than I usually play now.
Okay.
And a little more like how I played as a kid.
Okay.
I used Combuskin or Blaziken and Manectric, pretty much only those two.
Yeah, that sounds
I
right.
had a team of 6, but the rest of them were leveled up with the EXP share.
Yeah.
They didn't even fight mostly.
I mean, I gotta say, the fact you get the EXP share so early is pretty cool. I thought that was pretty cool.
So
That is just so boring to me. I could never play Pokemon that way.
and so like most fights wound up being pretty easy.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
Maxie,
Blaziken's a beast.
he managed to take out both of them, and then he could sweep the rest
Maxie's
of my team
good,
because
man.
none of the rest of my Pokemon were anywhere near that level.
Yeah.
But
Maxie's
I
pretty
just
tough.
had to. So I had Manectric out to start, and then he comes out with Camerupt.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so the second time I fought him, I just started with Blaziken, and then it was no problem.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yep. Makes sense.
Even Tate and Liza weren't that hard.
Yeah.
They did almost
They're
kill
tough.
me, but they didn't.
I think
quite.
they're probably the hardest battle in the game, but
Yeah, they're definitely the hardest gym leaders.
yeah.
But not by a lot.
And that is one of the bigger differences in Emerald. They're buffed ridiculously in Emerald. Yeah.
And so I thought maybe, oh wow, maybe I'll lose, but no.
Yeah, you were overprepared
Yeah.
basically for
And then
it. Yeah.
for the Elite Four, I had Rayquaza. So
Yeah, well, that's nice.
now,
He's pretty good.
I did try to like not overuse him, but yeah,
But he's so good. That's one of those legendaries that's just like actually really good. Like you feel how strong he
the
is.
first time I beat Ruby, it took several attempts to beat the Elite 4. I had to grind on the Elite 4 for a while to get high enough to beat the Elite 4.
Yeah.
But this time I didn't because one, the two Pokemon that were actually that I had been leveling were over leveled, and
Of
I
course,
had
yeah.
Rayquaza. So
Well, there you go. So it was easy. I don't know why it was easy.
yeah,
I like a lot of Gen 3 Pokemon, and I don't at the same time. So,
Okay.
like, all of the starters are fine to me. There's not any of them I love, especially.
yeah,
And, like, Pokemon like Electrike and Manectric, I don't like at all. I've never used one, and I never will, basically,
Yeah.
for no good reason. But then there's Gardevoir also. And I'm
Yeah.
like, heck yeah, Gardevoir rules. Absol rules. Freaking Flygon, Salamence. Like some of my favorite Pokemon of all time
yeah.
were introduced here at the same time. So it's like, I have a love-hate with
Metagross is pretty cool.
Metagross is super
Yeah.
cool. Not like one of my go-tos, but
Right.
it's obviously
But yeah.
a really cool Pokemon. So yeah, I'm like, I have a love-hate with Hoenn Pokemon, basically. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah. And then, so I have been continuing to try the no fail run, and to give an idea of how difficult
Yeah, how's that
it has
going?
been for me, I have attempted it 8 times and have not yet succeeded.
Excellent.
And
Honestly, I'm really glad it wasn't super easy.
yeah,
Because that's cool. Because maybe we can be able to stream by the time you...
Yeah, right. I did think about that.
Or at least make YouTube content of some sort.
Yeah. It hasn't always been the same trainers. But yeah, and it's usually just
Is it like critical hits, basically? Or...
Yeah, that's part of it for sure.
I would guess that's
and
a
then
big thing. Yeah.
Just like quick attacks and hyper fangs
Sure.
and moves like that. It's me not having my tankiest Pokemon out during a fight where I should have, and stuff like that.
Small little, yeah. Because it's not like a whiteout and start over run. It's if a single Pokemon faints. So if you're one really squishy Pokemon happens to be out front and happens to get crit. Yeah.
So this
that's a thing for sure.
I did say I didn't make this a rule, but this has been a rule I've been following. And that is that I fight every trainer because I could have skipped a couple of trainers that I've struggled with.
For sure.
The trainer in Brock's gym.
Yeah.
Before Brock. Because Brock is so easy.
Turns out he's tough. Like
Brock, I don't know if I could lose to Brock if I tried.
Right.
But yeah, the trainer before Brock, he has 2 pure ground types that are definitely stronger than Geodude and Onix.
Yeah.
Diglett is fast and has high attack, and then Sandshrew has sand attack, and sand attack is deadly in this kind of run.
Awful.
I never thought very highly of sand attack as a kid.
Yeah.
It was just one of those other status moves. And then nowhere did it show its power more than when I played Blue Kaizo.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I had a Pokemon with sand attack, and it made me win a fight that I couldn't beat before because they just couldn't hit me enough.
It's the move that has made a lot of people win and or lose challenge runs, I think. That's where it really shines. Is some stupid challenge run of some sort.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed that in a few like small ant runs and stuff.
Because there's in Gen 1, there's Swift, and that's it. There aren't really any other moves that can overcome that.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, I really hope. So I'm thinking we could even do dual commentary, even though it's just you playing.
Yeah.
But I could have color commentary also.
Yeah.
We could have mini podcasts while we talk to, and
yeah.
Anyway, that's definitely an idea. That'd be fun.
Yeah. And then I downloaded Pokemon Platinum. I have that ready to play.
Yeah.
I need to decide how to approach it. So here's one thing I catch myself doing with Gen 3 through 5 in particular. And that is that I skip all NPC dialogue.
Oh, yeah.
I skip anything that isn't part of the main game. Just beating the gyms and beating the Elite Four. I skip everything that isn't that because I'm not all that interested in it, but I think maybe I'm
what if you try
doing the game a disservice. But here's the thing. I think it might have been Diamond. I read every single NPC's dialogue.
Okay.
And the first time I played it. And so a good 80+% of it was completely unnecessary. And it made me go, oh, okay, so NPC dialogue is pointless and I should never talk to any NPCs ever.
Forever.
Even though then in Gen 5, I missed out on some stuff by not talking to NPCs.
Yeah, in Gen 5, they shine, I would say. Especially in the sequels.
Yeah.
Black and White 2.
Going out of my way to make sure I talk to every NPC is going too far in the other direction.
Right.
But skipping every single NPC and not talking to any of them is too far in that direction. So it's finding a good balance because I don't want to write a game off and then be like, oh yeah, I didn't talk to any of the NPCs,
but also I
didn't interact with the story in any way. It's like, well, yeah, then of course you're going to write it off. You're not going to,
because then you're that guy on the internet. Yeah. So,
but because I did talk to all those NPCs and stuff in Diamond, I feel like
that's true.
I
vindicated a little bit. Sure.
I deserve to be. I've earned the right to talk negatively about it.
So Diamond and Pearl suck, but maybe Platinum doesn't suck as much.
Yeah, so I want to give
that a
Platinum a fair
shot.
shake and see if it's redeems Sinnoh a little in my head, because
I will say everything they added in Platinum, I noticed, and it made me enjoy it more.
Yeah.
So there's that. I love even that they're in winter uniforms now.
Yeah.
And it's a little colder, obviously. That's cute. I like that. Like, just, I don't know, little
it's
stuff.
also got Giratina or Giratina or however the heck you pronounce.
There's a whole, like, story section that's new.
There was a...
I think Giratina's cooler.
Yeah. Well,
whatever.
so when the movie with that Pokemon came out, like 20 years ago or whatever, I feel like I remember them saying it like Giratina.
Okay.
I can hear that playing back in my head when I think of the trailer for that movie. And so because of that, that's how I pronounce it. But I don't hear anybody else pronounce it that way, so I don't know if it's right. But I still say Giratina.
Some people say Kyogre.
I'm pretty sure that's correct, though.
But that is so stupid. It just Kyogre. Yeah. It makes so much more sense.
The spelling makes no sense for Kyogre.
Stop saying Kyogre. It's so weird.
It feels like someone trying to be too edgy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, still, tons of people still say Arceus, even though it's canonically Arceus. Like, it is
canonically,
a proven
it's either.
fact. Yeah. Well, but
they're both correct.
In all the most modern stuff, it's Arceus. In the last few episodes
I prefer
and games.
the Arceus pronunciation, but
I'm glad that that's the more correct one because I agree that it's better than Arceus, but this is such a Pokemon fan discussion to be like, this is how you say the name.
And it's often a total wash because of course their names are Japanese to begin with, and sometimes the translation isn't one for one anyway.
It's actually pronounced Pikachu. Turns out. Who knew? The whole time. It's crazy. Oh.
His name is Lizardon.
His name is
Charizard.
Lizardon. That's right. What's Pikachu, like, Raichu's name is like Thunder or something? No, it's Jolteon, right? Thunders is his name. I'm like, that's so stupid. That's just the word thunder. Yeah. Speaking of Pokemon, since we're on that, I've been sleeping every night.
Oh, okay. Before you get into that.
Okay.
So I was re-listening to the second episode we ever recorded. No, maybe the third.
Okay.
Where we were talking about Sword and Shield.
Nice.
I was trying to remember what we said about it, frankly.
Okay, yeah.
And you talked about Pokemon Sleep back then.
Dude.
I didn't remember that
it was announced so long ago. It is insane.
Beginning of 2020.
It's so crazy. And now it's here, and there's just not very much to it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's insane. I've been doing it. Mm-hmm. I've had 3 nights of playing Pokemon Sleep. Mm-hmm. Playing in air quotes because I'm just sleeping. So basically, it's definitely a mobile game. It feels like a mobile game, which sucks. Because all mobile games suck. But you have a Snorlax, and you're on an island. And when the Snorlax sleeps, he emits sleep power that attracts nearby Pokemon around him to also sleep next to him. And so every morning you wake up, you see what Pokemon the Snorlax attracted, and you log their different sleep styles. Every Pokemon has 4 different sleep styles.
Okay.
And they like get rarer and rarer. And I think that's randomly generated.
Okay.
But depending on how you sleep, different Pokemon will show up. So there's dozing, snoozing, and slumbering. So, and that's like good sleep, medium sleep, best sleep, basically. And so if you were moving around a lot and you didn't sleep very long or something like that, you're dozing, right? And that's like crappy Pokemon show up. Like most grass types are in the dozing zone. Not crappy necessarily, I'm just saying. And they get slightly more interesting as you go to like slumbering, has sort of rarer Pokemon, and sometimes just different types. Like I think most dragons are only slumbering, stuff like that. And there's an interesting mix of Pokemon. I assumed it was just going to be Gen 1 Pokemon, basically. But I guess even from the trailer, they showed that's not true. But I've seen a lot of Gen 2 Pokemon. And yeah, so far I've just seen Gen 1 and 2. So I don't know. But because I've seen people with a Houndour, and I've seen Totodile, and a few others. Anyway.
The real question is, who have you gotten so far?
Well, first I just want to say it has the annoying thing where it's a mobile game, so they give you 1,000 things every 2 seconds. You get like certain gems, and you get shards and crystals and passes and candies and and ingredients and berries and I'm just like, I don't know what any of this does, but thanks, I guess. And mostly it's stupid, whatever. I don't know. don't worry about it too much. Speaking of, you just remembered I have to feed my Snorlax dinner. I'll do that after the podcast. But so first, I think it's probably scripted the first night, the things you get, but I don't know if that's true necessarily. You start with a Pikachu, and he's your friend. And so the first night I was dozing, apparently. I did not sleep very well. And so I had a Caterpie. I had a Bulbasaur was the best one. I was like, Bulbasaur, okay, awesome. Again, I think that might be scripted, but whatever. So, and then I had a Bellsprout and another one. I think it was another Caterpie maybe.
Okay.
But so then once you log their, sleep styles, you have to feed them biscuits with Pokeballs on them. And if you get them to max friendship, you've caught them basically, and they're like part of your team now. And so if you don't have enough biscuits, you can't save. You can't recruit all your friends basically. And for just $9.99, you could get a lot of biscuits. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I'll never do anything like that. But so that was the first night. Second night, I pretty much got the same Pokemon. I don't think I got a single new Pokemon. And they were like all styles I already had. I think it's because I didn't sleep very well again. No. So it was like Caterpie sleeping the exact same way, stuff like that. Apparently, this is very common, unfortunately, from what I've seen online. And so last night, I was like, I think it's too close. I think my phone is too close to me. So basically what you do is you put your phone face down next to you, or like under your pillow maybe, just so it can record like your movements, because it moves the phone or whatever. And so I just moved it farther away from me so it wasn't so like sensitive. And with that I got the snoozing. I was in the middle this time. I wasn't dozing because I think it was just the mic was too hot, and so I got some different Pokemon. I got a Chikorita this time, which was awesome. I was like, heck yeah, Chikorita. And most excitingly, I saw a Tyrant. I was like, okay, cool. Is that what that was called? No, that's the thing from Sun and Moon, isn't it?
Yeah, the T-Rex.
Yeah. No, I got Larvitar.
Oh, Larvitar, yeah.
No, I was thinking Tyranitar,
Yeah.
And Tyrunt sounds like a small Tyranitar, but that's not how that works.
Larvitar, Pupitar, Tyranitar.
I got Larvitar, which I'm like, okay, pseudo legendary. I'll take that. I have no idea if that's rare or not. No, I have no like scope for what any of this means. But whatever. So I befriended him, fed him a bunch of biscuits, and I also befriended a Doduo just cause I wanted more friends, I guess. So I probably wasted biscuits doing this, but whatever. And so I got those two. So now I have 5 friends. Chikorita's cool, super cute. Yeah. My Larvitar is adamant natured, so that's pretty sweet. So if that mattered in this game, which doesn't, that'd be pretty cool. So there's that. You can make curry, like in Sword and Shield, and feed it to your Snorlax, which makes him stronger? Which helps maybe. I don't know how that helps exactly. But so there. That's what I've been doing. I'm hoping to get cooler Pokemon soon. We'll see if I ever get to Slumbering type. I've already seen online most people are just cheesing it, just like not doing it correctly at all.
Yeah.
So apparently, if you put it on like a hard surface, just like on your nightstand or whatever, you won't get as much sleep time. It'll only log like a couple hours of sleep, but you'll probably be slumbering the whole time because it won't be moving really.
Yeah.
So you might get better Pokemon. I don't know. The most exciting thing is the fact that there's shinies in this game. And I've already seen a lot of people with shinies. It's totally random as usual, but I think it's a greater chance than 1 in 4,000. I'm pretty sure. I should check Cerebi. Cerebi has all the data you want on Pokemon Sleep. And so I might actually research it a little bit and check it out so I can play it more effectively because I really want a shiny.
Yeah.
Obviously. So that's that. It's fine. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's perfectly fine. I will say it's making me want to go to bed earlier, which is so it's a good tool in that way.
Yeah. One of the biggest reasons I didn't want to get it is because, and probably won't, is because even in the best of circumstances, I haven't slept great historically.
Right.
So, and most nights aren't the best of circumstances.
So you'll just be getting a bunch of Caterpies anyway.
We have a neighbor who has who just moved in with a motorcycle. Who
you
goes
love that.
and commutes with it at 5 a.m. So that's been great.
Every morning is it doing it?
Every weekday, yeah.
Okay. That's fantastic. That's great for you.
Yes. And he parks right outside our house. So.
Literally right outside your house.
Our windows are apparently like paper thin because I can hear everything that happens outside my window.
I
yearn for like triple pane windows someday.
I'm one of those who can sleep through anything basically.
Yes, I've always envied that about you. Anyway, I'm a very light sleeper. So
apparently, according to Pokemon Sleep, everyone should get 8.5 hours of sleep.
Yeah,
that's
what I hear.
That's the only way to get 100 points in sleep. Sleep points or whatever.
I watched a YouTube video talking about how bad it is to get too little sleep, and also how bad it is to get too much sleep. It's like, oh, great, cool.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a thing. I'm wondering if you can nap with Pokemon Sleep and also get stuff.
Oh yeah, that'd be interesting.
Should try that maybe sometime.
Yeah.
If I ever take a nap, like on a Sunday or something. So after that, I do want to mention one other little cool news thing.
Okay.
First of all, Pikmin 4 came out.
Oh, okay.
Very excited. I haven't played it yet, but I definitely want to get into it. It has sold better than I think every other Pikmin combined.
Wow.
So that's really cool. Super happy about that. Like, because I want Pikmin to continue.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I want it to succeed. So
Pikmin fans have been evangelizing.
I know, for real. Yeah, I think enough, time has passed, and like Pikmin 1 and 2 have sold really well on the Switch too, and so hype is starting to happen basically for Pikmin.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's cool. And out of nowhere, Nintendo shadow dropped is what they call it. They dropped new stuff on the Game Boy, Switch Online. They did Zelda Oracle of Seasons and Ages.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Totally unannounced, basically. Yeah. They're like, boom, they're out right now. So
I always
that's
thought
really cool.
the box art for Oracle of Ages is
really
just
nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, the art's really nice for it.
I really wanted Oracle of Ages, but
yeah,
I got Seasons, and I don't know if it's because they were out of copies of Ages or something, or I don't remember why. But yeah.
Sad. But yeah, they're pretty good. I mean, they're good games. I'm not, obviously I'm not a huge 2D Zelda fan, definitely more into the 3D, but I think it's really cool. And I think it's super cool that the Switch is now only missing 4 Zelda games out of every single Zelda game.
Yeah.
Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, obviously, which we pray is coming soon. I want it so bad. And then Four Swords Adventure and A Link Between Worlds, the 3DS game, are the only Zelda games that aren't on the Switch. So that's pretty neat, I thought.
Yeah.
And all 4 Pikmins are on the Switch. So yeah, I think the Switch is really becoming the ultimate Nintendo console, which I just think is very cool. So because hopefully the next Switch will also be basically you'll keep your purchases and stuff and we'll have the same library. So that'll be really cool.
We talked about streaming and stuff earlier. So I was looking into streaming hardware and stuff. So with the advent of Twitch and stuff, there's a lot of products out there geared towards like
streamers.
You are getting started with streaming and you just need stuff that is really easy to operate and doesn't necessarily follow any like actual production standards. It just needs to be easy to use. And so they have microphones and cameras and various other devices to get you up and running. Yeah. And those are cool. I'm glad those exist.
Yeah.
But
I have no interest.
I'm a snob, and I have
no interest.
I have experience in the pro side of
sound,
and video and streaming. I mean, we stream our services at our church, and we do it in a semi-professional way. And so I was like, okay. And I have a very nice
broadcast stuff,
I have a nice audio interface, and I like using
it right now.
Yeah. And I like using the same DAW that we're recording into right now and the same DAW that I use to edit this podcast and apply various plugins to. I wanted to be able to run my chain for my microphone while streaming and stuff. And so I want to be able to do it through Reaper and all that. And I was just trying to find a way to still use all of that without having to give in and just get like a USB mic and USB everything and just and like a Go XLR.
We use XLR cables and stuff. Like I want to stay. I want to stay that way. Yeah.
And so I bought a video switcher.
Because
I was able to find one that was not too expensive. I bought it for $180 on eBay, and it actually I can do everything that I would have bought a capture card for. I don't need a capture card with this.
Right.
It's got 4 HDMI inputs, so everything. I can actually record multiple consoles at once if I wanted to. And actually the input lag is so little that I could play using the preview in OBS.
And that's preferred. Like that's what you want basically.
Yeah. Like I don't have to like watch my TV because the lag is so bad from the
you want
capture
everything
card or
on
whatever.
One or two screens basically next to each other. Yeah, that's what you want.
And also, apparently OBS can record, so I don't need additional recording software. And unlike my DAW, which can only accept one audio interface at a time, OBS can have several sources at once, and you can choose whether or not you have live monitoring on that source, which is nice. So So I've got a neat little video switcher.
Yep. So we're making our way, getting closer and closer to having the equipment necessary.
And by that, we mean I keep buying things, and eventually one day I'll have bought enough things for us to get started.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Listen, when we're making millions off of our content, we'll pay you back, okay? Listen.
I also, because of all the frustrations I sometimes have with Halo Master Chief Collection and just the time it takes from when I turn the console on to when I actually get to play.
The hours of downloading updates.
Yeah. I bought physical copies of Halo 2 and 3 for my Xbox 360.
Heck yeah.
For the times when I just want to fire up Halo real quick and play for an hour.
Just want to do, a level on the campaign or something. Yeah.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
And I have the metal case again for Halo 2.
Very nice.
which I had back in 2005, but
It was in good condition too.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I sold it off like an idiot.
Well,
But yeah, so
thankfully
I have
there were
those
so
now.
many. They're not that expensive.
I know
still.
it's still cheap, and I had enough store credit that I was able to just get it with store credit.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
you're lucky that that was a mass-produced game because
yes, I am.
There has never been a worse time to buy retro games.
Yes,
Like in all of history.
uh-huh.
Because my goodness, it's so stupid.
You know how glad I am that I own a copy of Phantasy Star Online episodes 1 and 2 plus.
It's like a $300 game now.
Yeah,
That's so crazy. I remember when I saw it for like 100, I was like, "That's crazy."
and so
now it's like
when Mom bought it for me, it wasn't an old game, but it was certainly not new. It was at like 3 or 4 years old at least.
Yeah.
And so like I that was the time to get it.
yeah, you got it probably the cheapest it's ever been.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it used to be, even good used games like classic games were cheaper than retail.
Yeah.
Like that was just how it was. Obviously, it's used.
Yeah.
And then everyone went, what if we charged 10 times retail instead?
Yeah. Yeah, now it has to be a game that was like Halo that was just mass produced.
Yeah.
That there's just countless copies of.
Well, case in point is Gen 1 of Pokemon.
Yeah.
Because even now, they're still only like $50 for a cartridge of it.
I paid almost 80 for my red version.
Yeah, I think they're actually cheaper now.
Oh yeah,
than they used to be because the market is so flooded. I think or something.
Oh, okay, yeah.
People hear Pokemon's expensive, so they sell it and don't make very much. Something like that. But like they're decently, especially red and blue. Yellow's a little more, but like Crystal, freaking, you're paying $250 probably for a copy
just for the game
for just Crystal. In okay condition.
Yeah.
Like not pristine, not with a box.
Because I know with the box it gets
400
stupid,
plus now.
Some of these games. Even red or blue version.
Yeah.
For a box that isn't mint condition.
Yeah. It gets really bad when you go to like Emerald and Heart Gold Soul Silver is one of the most expensive.
Yeah.
It's hundreds for just the cartridge. Like nothing, no case even.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely absurd, which is part of why I bought a copy of Platinum with store credit from our retro shop that had a really nice case with the manual and everything. Because I'm like, this is just money in the bank. Like,
yeah, right.
I bought it for like, store credit like $160 maybe. I don't remember exactly. Maybe it was $180, but it was way too much.
Yeah.
But it's probably just gonna appreciate. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I do currently own every old game that I want to own physically.
I own most of them also. So well, thankfully most of them you can get on like the Switch or something like that, which is really nice. But,
also, if it's older than GameCube, PS2, Xbox,
it gets cheap again.
Well, that too, but also it's so easy to emulate when it's that old that I don't have to worry about it.
Very true.
I'm never gonna buy an NES because I'll just emulate NES.
Exactly.
I don't need to buy a device that can play regular Game Boy. Well, I have one, but I don't need to buy I don't even need to have a Game Boy. I just do have one, but I don't need to buy all the Game Boy games because they emulate really well. But yeah, the newer the console gets, the worse the emulation tends to be.
Yeah.
Although there's apparently been some recent strides in like Xbox 360 emulation and stuff that's gotten a lot better.
Which is cool. Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah, I just think it's sad, and I really hope that it dies out, in not too long. The whole just bubble of the market, basically. Yeah. I'd love to get my number one is probably Soul Silver. Yeah. I really want a legit copy because I have a repro of Heart Gold and it works pretty well and stuff. But yeah, that's the one I think would be really nice to have legit. Like this white 2 I have is legit, the one I'm grinding on right now.
No.
I'm really glad I got them now. Like, yes, they were much cheaper a couple years ago, but at least get them now before they go up even more, basically.
Yeah.
It's
That's why I bought Ultra Moon when I did.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the minute the eShop shut down for 3DS, those went up $10.
Yeah.
The day after, like literally, which is just stupid personally, but hey, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
I'm very glad I own literally every single one of those, every version even. So like each version of each game and everything. X, Y, Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, like everything, because that's my favorite era of Pokemon games. And so, yes, I must cherish them. Yeah.
So I have some video game news.
Oh, do you?
I do.
Tell me about it.
So there's this thing about game articles written by AI that's kind of everywhere right now. And so
cringe.
players were like, let's screw with the AI. Let's mess them up.
Heck yeah.
So World of Warcraft players just started talking about this thing called Glorbo. No one can tell you exactly what or who Glorbo
is.
but they just kept talking about it. And eventually there were game articles about Glorbo,
Incredible.
treating it as a real thing in the game because enough players talked about it.
So that's how you can know. It's like I'm reminded of like paper towns for like map makers and stuff.
Right.
Just like how you can know, aha, you're not a real person.
Yeah.
You're talking about Glorbo.
And so in Destiny, they did the same thing. Destiny 2,
that's so good.
They talked about a boss called Glorbo. And then there was an article that came out that was how to beat Glorbo.
How to beat Glorbo.
In Destiny 2.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, yeah, AI doesn't stand a chance against people on the internet.
Yes, the memers will destroy them.
Yep. Oh, that's awesome.
And then apparently there's a few Xbox 360 games that still have matchmaking.
Really?
Online?
Like servers online?
Yeah. And Microsoft recently patched Gears of War, the first one, matchmaking to make it better.
They patched it?
Yeah.
Dude, that had to be like one dude working on that or something. That's crazy.
Some of the older Call of Duties on 360 have matchmaking still.
That's some respect to Microsoft for that. That's really cool. Yeah. That's awesome.
Rumor of a new Persona fighting game.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah. They're doing a lot. Persona Atlas is like going nuts with Persona stuff. Yeah. I can't wait for Persona 3 Reload. That looks gorgeous. I really hope it gets a Switch version. So far, it is not officially getting a Switch one.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, that'd be cool. The Persona 4 Arena Ultimax is one of the better fighting games I've played, I would say. But I'm not really a fighting game person. So.
Oh, I didn't even put this in my notes, but I should talk about it.
Oh?
So the game I've been playing the most recently was Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
So my thumb got used to the BA orientation on the Switch controller, and then I tried to play Halo. I was like, here's the thing. On every Xbox that I own, which I own 3 different ones, the original, the 360, and the Series S. They all have the confirm button in the bottom.
Yes.
And cancel on the right. N64, confirm is on the bottom.
Oh.
Also.
That's true.
But cancel is on the left as opposed to the right. Yeah. But still. GameCube's a little weird because it's a giant confirm button right in the center, and then the B is kind of off to the side.
Which I think is really clever, actually. But
so I was like, I wonder. So I was thinking about like actually remapping some of my controllers on some of my consoles, and the Switch lets you do a global remap of the controller.
You could remap everything. That's great. Isn't that crazy?
And so I just remapped A and B.
Yeah.
To match
everything.
PlayStation and Xbox, and now So
Now you don't get confused.
yeah, that should help a lot, actually.
Yeah, the fact Switch lets you just remap completely is pretty cool.
I expected that to be way more painful.
Yeah, you kind of
a
don't expect that
process.
from Nintendo, actually.
Yeah. I really did expect them to be like, this is the way we designed it, so
It's
therefore
perfect.
it's the way you have to play. But no.
Yep, pretty cool.
No.
Pretty cool.
All right, I have just a couple other things.
Okay. Where are we at?
Or just about an hour.
We're almost there. Like, I felt it. I was like,
Yeah.
it feels like it's been almost an hour. Finally, 65 episodes in, I'm getting the feel for it.
So almost every time I watch one of this guy's videos, I wind up talking about on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
The channel name is Rasputin.
Rasputin, yeah. I haven't actually watched really any of his stuff, but
Yeah, it's like 15 to 20 minute videos about that are just like video essays about various concepts.
like large topics in video gaming or
Yeah, just things like he did one about how purple is the color of corruption
oh, interesting.
in games, and it's
Often
like
true, yeah.
poison, toxicity, acid. Like
Yeah.
purple is a color that represents that, and that's interesting. He did one
Very,
about
especially in like JRPGs, I feel
Yeah.
like Japanese especially.
he did one about villain music.
Ooh,
Is the most
it's always
recent
so
one.
good.
He gave 3 examples. One of them being Ganon,
Yeah, fantastic.
and like
Epic.
and how like Ganon's theme in several games plays like in various parts throughout the game and it's like it's a thing to let you know that the villain is here or even just near
Yeah, the presence
or there in spirit
Yeah.
but not physically present.
phantom.
And one of his other examples is obviously Sephiroth, and Those Chosen by the Planet is the name of the track.
Whoa.
But
Okay.
it's that it's got that gong
Okay.
and the boom 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 boom.
Oh yeah.
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like anytime he's talking
that
or whatever.
is
Yeah.
Also one of my favorite video
Very
game
good.
tracks
Yeah.
ever.
Really good.
So I was glad he mentioned that one.
We still don't know who Sephiroth is. He was just there on the phone.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He also mentioned a character in The Witcher 3 who's
Okay.
like seems to be some sort of like god of mischief.
Oh, nice. Chaos.
Yeah. he's this character that's just there like all the time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just in the background and stuff, and he just messes with people.
That's a great.
Like
I love
he doesn't
that concept.
he doesn't
always.
really do anything overt. He just messes with people, but like and like his theme is so omnipresent that you can hear children singing it as
Whoa,
like
that's messed up.
as a nursery school rhyme or
Oh,
something.
that's really cool, actually.
And so you hear it and renditions of it just all throughout the game. I think it's only part of a DLC expansion too. I don't
okay.
think this is even part
It's
of the
from,
base
like
game.
a specific part.
But yeah.
Yeah, I've heard the DLCs in that game are like whole other games.
Yeah, exactly. Like
basically.
games unto themselves.
Yeah.
And yeah, this you have several encounters with this villain, and as time progresses, you come to understand that he's not just a guy. He's like
A god. Yeah.
or at least a demigod.
Yeah.
Which, like he is powerful and
Yeah. He's a trickster. I mean, like that's a classic, like the trickster demon, basically. It's like a very, very common, really cool, always fun theme, basically.
So yeah, I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah, that's really cool, actually.
Yeah. And he was like, so he said Final Fantasy VII was like his first exposure to this kind of thing, where the music in the game was fairly happy for the most part up until this track.
Yeah.
And then you just felt this sense of foreboding.
Because
Like-
it's fairly quiet, isn't it? Like it's not a really busy track.
Right.
Right.
Especially in the very beginning where it's just the gong and the bum bum.
Yeah. You're like, oh, things are getting real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like the most somber, melancholy like track in the game up to that point. And yeah,
Because before it's like, we're freedom fighters.
Like even when the thing collapses onto the people, like obviously that's a very sad moment. A lot of people just died and stuff. But yeah, nothing has that creepy factor like that.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting.
I did want to mention this, and I might go into this a little further in a later episode.
Okay.
But someone made it was actually the title of a Hacker News post, but it was something to the effect of a helicopter is really just a fast moving door if you think about it. And it was an article about various shortcuts taken in video games to reuse assets.
Oh.
And so like,
was there really a helicopter that was just a door?
So like sometimes like you're like, okay, we already have an object in the game that is a room.
Yeah.
We don't need to create a new object for a helicopter. When you enter the helicopter, you are now in a room.
Uh-huh.
It just so happens the room is moving and it has a propeller on top and you can see out a window.
Makes sense.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's lots of like things like a train is actually just an NPC wearing a train hat or like
none of that stuff's real. You going into the train, that's not real.
Yeah.
That's automatic. Yeah.
Apparently in World of Warcraft and in games like it, they use like invisible rabbits and stuff as like game triggers that you can't interact with in any way, but they're there.
But they're really smart.
And you can't see them.
Invisible things,
just like...
Game design's weird.
And that kind of stuff is everywhere in video games, but apparently it saves lots of time and money, so they do it.
I imagine there's a lot of that in a game like Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Where there's so much and it runs really well on the Switch. Like, how did they do that? Like, there's a bunch of weird crap they had to do.
But like, like a stick and a sword are the same item.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Like 100%. And then they just change a couple of aspects of it to change the sound effects,
value
the
is
visuals,
this,
and the damage output. But it's still,
Which is why it's really impressive when he'll have two things that are really similar, but he swings them just a little differently.
Yeah.
When they do stuff like that, I'm like, do you know how much time and effort went into that stupid little difference? Like, and there's a lot of that in Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be that good.
It reminds me of like
absurd.
Someone was talking to a Pixar employee when they made the movie Brave.
Yeah. Oh.
And this guy was like,
Meredith's
my
hair, dude.
entire job is her hair.
Yeah, it's so much. I couldn't imagine. Ugh. Because it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really well done. And I'm sure that took a lot of time and effort. That guy got paid a lot of money to
actually, I
make
think
a lot of hair.
I think with Meredith's hair, it was probably at least 3 guys on just her hair.
Probably.
Because I've heard
hair,
of much less significant things having an entire person devoted to them. So
seriously.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yep.
Well, Brian, this is attempt number 87 since we started the podcast. So in an hour, I can do about 87. It turns out. Yeah. So it's not bad. It's not bad.
Yep. And since it is 19487, it means it was 19400 when we started.
Yes, it was like exactly 400. Let's see if it's it. And while I'm seeing if this is shiny, please go follow us on Twitter at the brother. It was not shiny at the Brothers G Pod or X, as apparently it's called now. I don't know. Whatever. Send us a zeet on Twitter. Of course, many people are calling it Key instead of X.
Oh,
so,
yes.
It's actually
Kingdom Hearts Key.
So when you think about it,
Unchained Key.
When you think about it, we're all Xehanort.
Union Cross.
So just weird. All of a sudden, everyone on Twitter had yellow eyes. It's really weird. I was actually Lushu the whole time.
This would have gone over much better in like 1999.
Yeah. Oh, X. Oh, so cool.
Oh, yeah. Because everything was X.
It's very
extreme.
Yeah. Like Shadow the Hedgehog wouldn't have a Twitter account, but he would have an X account.
That's right.
100%. I'm the coolest.
Drink your surge while you post on X.
So go follow us on X at the Brothers G Pod. Ridiculous.
Please download the podcast on every device you own, as well as every device you don't own.
Yeah, find some friends' devices. Download it on there. Who knows? Make them listen to it.
Yeah.
Do the face jam thing and force them to listen to the podcast.
It'd be like that U2, was it?
Like the U2 album that was forced on everyone's iPhone. Yeah. We'll do that. Except with our really cool podcast.
Yeah.
If you're on YouTube, what's up, YouTube? Give us a like and a comment. That would be amazing.
And
slap that bell
for more podcasts.
So you get notifications every time. Would mean a lot. The like and the comment is the cool part. Please do that. That would be amazing. Thanks for listening to episode 65. I hope it wasn't a waste of an hour for you. You're probably doing something while listening to this anyway. So go play more Zelda. If you already beat Tears of the Kingdom, go restart it and play it again and find things you missed the first time. How about that? Hang on, before we go, 490.
All right, one more time.
490. Okay, during that spiel, I was able to do 3. It's pretty impressive. Thank God it's fast. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it this much. Nope.
Nope.
Okay. Goodbye.
All right. On that note, good night, everybody.
That's it. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to Pokemon sleep.